Welcome to the Money Mile Podcast. I am your host, Justin Waller, and I'm happy you are here. We like to think of Money Mile as standing at the corner of triathlon and personal finance. We believe that age group triathletes are the lifeblood of our sport, and we like shining the light on some good people doing great things in our sport. This summer, we are going to take the opportunity to highlight some of our favorite Questions on Course segment from the last several months. In this episode, we are going to bring back two of our favorite questions on course, and we are going to focus on the retirement planning side of things. So let's get rolling.
This is more a response to a comment that I heard recently. I was talking with a fellow athlete and we were talking about what we do for a living, and I mentioned that I work in retirement planning and tax planning. This person had shared that their comment or the response was, I'm never going to be able to retire. My initial thought was, well, not with that attitude, you won't. But I want to share with you a little bit more context behind that and what my thought process is there. First, I want to clarify, this is different from, I am doing what I love and I never want to retire. That's a totally different thing, and I absolutely appreciate that. I can empathize with that for sure. But I think the concept of never being able to retire and the baggage, the emotional baggage that comes with, is a bit of a two-phase problem that we might want to just dig into a little bit here. So I thought this was a good format to do it. The first part is that we need to recognize that retirement as a concept really only became a reality for folks within the last couple of generations. In previous generations, you essentially worked until you couldn't work anymore, and then you relied on your family or community until you passed away. A lot of people have not really been taught from a young age that retirement and financial independence is attainable. If this is something you are interested in and you have not been taught from a young age about how to create your own financial independence, well, kudos to you. You're in the right spot. So that's a lot of what we do here in our financial education work. The next phase of this, or the next level of this problem, is a lot of people hear stories that you need to have $10 million to retire or some outlandish number, and then they get discouraged. They look at their financial situation and they think, well, I'm never going to reach $10 million, and so they just give up. I am here to tell you that you don't necessarily need to have $10 million to live a financially independent lifestyle, and I would encourage you to continue to learn and educate yourself to find out what's right for you. Just because you don't have money like Elon Musk or Warren Buffett does not mean that you can't live a great life. So for many people that I work with, being aware of what their options are and how they can create their own financial independence is a game changer. Understanding how to put the pieces together to get a better result for themselves helps them live more confidently now and be on track for a better future. For this group, I would compare this to our awareness of triathlon. At some point in your life, you didn't know that triathlon was a thing, but you heard about it, you liked the idea, and decided to learn more about it and start working on it. You probably couldn't have done an Ironman on day 1 or day 20 of your training, but through diligent effort, you crossed some finish lines, you learned a lot, and you are likely a lot better off today compared to where you were when you started. In the finance world, there are some complex things, but that doesn't mean you can't either figure them out for yourself or work with a professional to help you. Many of us work with athletic coaches, and your finances are very similar. If you want to handle your own finances, you can, just like you can be a self-taught athlete or a self-coached athlete. If you want to work with a financial coach, a lot of the same benefits apply. Just like in our conversation with Coach Kat today, when she had worked with athletes to help them understand what they're capable of and help them do better, that is exactly what a good financial planner or financial coach will do with you. I encourage you to collaborate with experts in the field that are important to you, whether it be personal development, finance, athletics, whatever it might be. Work with experts that are in that field and can help you expedite your learnings and move forward faster. If you want to improve your finances and want to have the option, the potential of being financially independent someday, please continue to educate yourself at the very least and consider collaborating with a professional in the field. You never know what you're capable of until you try.
Thank you for being part of the Money Mile community. As a valued listener of the Money Mile podcast, we want to hear from you. We are constantly working to improve our content to be more engaging and relevant to your fitness and finance journey. Whether you're a triathlete, a fitness enthusiast, or just looking forward to being an active retiree, or all of the above, your opinion matters to us. We've put together a quick survey to gather your thoughts on the podcast, what you love, and what we can improve on. The link to our survey will be in the show notes for newer episodes and will also be available in the Money for the Long Run newsletter. If you are not receiving the newsletter, please check out wallerfc.com and scroll to the bottom of the site to sign up for the newsletter. The survey will only take a few minutes, and as a thank you for sharing your insights, you will be entered to win a Garmin Forerunner 965 Premium watch. This is the perfect companion for tracking your triathlon training, fitness goals, and more. Why should someone consider taking this survey? To help us create content that you love, to shape the future of Money Mile, and also to get a chance to win an amazing Garmin watch worth almost $600. Stay tuned and we'll announce the winner on the podcast soon. Don't miss your chance to have a say in the future of Money Mile and grab the chance to score an incredible Garmin watch as a thank you. We can't wait to hear what you think. Thank you for being part of the Money Mile community, and we'll let you get back to the rest of this episode. To paraphrase the question I received recently, it was, what should we be doing 15 years from retirement to improve our nest egg? I've got 4 steps here that I would recommend you start with. The first of which is to understand where you are in relation to your goal. Second is to understand your strengths and weaknesses of your financial situation. Third is to optimize what you're currently doing. And fourth is to look toward adding new strategies if there are any specific gaps. So let's dig in on those. First is understanding where you are in relation to your goal. It is absolutely possible that you might be ahead of pace for the goal that you have in mind or what you're trying to accomplish. You might also be behind and need to save more money. And ultimately, you can always have more money. That is a common challenge that I see with triathletes. More is like faster. So I can have more money. I can always be faster. But if you have enough or you're on track for the future that you want to have, you might want to consider, could it be a better time to invest in other things like your relationship with your kids or your family? Maybe make some memories before the kids leave the house, or maybe just enjoy more of your life now. Other ideas there, you might want to do some traveling or maybe invest in that new tri-bike. I don't know. But the key here is to understand where you are in relation to your goals. There are a lot of people out there that are saving because they feel they have to. There's this compulsion to save without really understanding where they are in relation to their goals. Here, I would suggest at least getting a second opinion from a professional financial planner. I know we've talked about this on here before, but you should avoid getting financial advice from product salespeople. I am a proponent of working with a fee-only financial planner, so you get objective advice on where you are and what you need to do moving forward. The second piece of this is that assuming you've gone through step 1 and you know where you are in relation to your goals, and assuming you're not where you want to be financially, develop an understanding of what your strengths and weaknesses are. An example here is that if you have a significant pension or something like that, you may not need to worry too much about the fixed income side of the equation, but in reality, these income streams don't keep pace with inflation over time. So in your situation, you might be best served by developing a liquid and marketable portfolio that will be better able to help maintain purchasing power over time. There are lots of different things out there and different things that can be areas of strengths and weaknesses. So going through that and understanding where you are is step number 2 in relation to your strengths and weaknesses. The third piece is that most of the folks that I work with have some financial strategies in place already when we start working together. But there are lots of things you can do to improve the financial strategies you already have in place. So can you optimize these things? I would suggest looking into what you are currently doing and identifying if there are ways to do better. An example of this might be to increase your savings into an employer-sponsored retirement plan, or maybe it's refinancing a mortgage. Things change over time, so kind of keep your eyes out and look for ways to optimize or refine what you're currently doing. And the fourth step here is to look at adding new strategies if there are specific gaps. An example is that if you do not have a plan to pay less in taxes in retirement, you might want to consider evaluating a Roth IRA or a Roth designated account to give yourself some more flexibility and options down the road. Not everyone can contribute directly to a Roth IRA, but there are lots of ways to solve that particular problem. So looking for ways for you to improve what you're doing now, there are lots of ways to get that done. Another example here is that if you happen to work for a large company and have a significant portion of your wealth invested in that company, I would likely not recommend you invest more there. but maybe consider investing into other areas of the global economy that you do not have current investments in, such as smaller company stocks or companies that are not based in the United States, for example, things of that nature. Please keep in mind that this is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. But these are my top 4 steps to look at if you are looking to improve your financial nest egg and you're in the ballpark of 15 years out. These are the first steps. Again, number 1 was to understand where you are in relation to your goals. Number 2 was to understand your strengths and weaknesses. Number 3 was to look at optimizing what you're currently doing. And finally is to look at adding additional strategies that can help improve your financial situation. I hope this episode of Money Mile was valuable for you. If it was, please share the podcast with your training buddies and friends. Keep in mind that if you work out, everything else will too, and we look forward to talking with you next time on Money Mile.